We found a very nice little spot to have a chat with you today. And oddly enough, it's about van life.
You know what though?
What?
No pun intended,
No.
Chad. But we're living the van life.
Living the van life. Actually, the conversation's all about the word van life, because it seems to mean different things to certain people, and it also seems to agitate certain people what adjectives you use after the word van life.
Yeah.
So,
And whether you're worthy or
Yeah.
not. I think sometimes it seemed to be a bit of an elite term,
yeah,
which is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. We get all sorts of comments, and from every example of what somebody could be calling van life, we are contacted by them in one way or another and told that we're doing it wrong.
yeah. So we don't seem to fit in a pod, which maybe upsets people, maybe not. I would say from all the discussions and the people we've met, ranging from the people at the side of the drove who have a van, it's just about converted and they live in it and they don't drive anywhere because they haven't got the money to do so.
Or they can't drive anywhere because the vehicle won't move,
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Yeah, they are van life. And then you've got the other extreme, which is people that use a motorhome as a means to, have a holiday. So they've got a nice house, they've got jobs, but every time they can, they jump in a motorhome or camper van or whatever and go somewhere like this because they can. And they still do the three things that the other person did who's living on the drove. They need water, they need somewhere to empty the loo, and they need a decent park up or somewhere where they can feel safe, call home, whatever you want to call it. And to me, that just about quantifies van life, but it seems not for other people, does it?
No, and it's fine having a sliding scale. It's fine having the people who save up all of their holidays so they can go on a massive jaunt for a year,
Yeah.
or for 5 weeks in a year, and people who don't move at all. The fact is that you live in a van, and everybody has problems with their 12-volt electrics. Everybody has water pump or water system issues, even if it is just getting actual water. Everybody in some stage of all of that has the same issues. Where do you park? Where do you go? Even finding parking so you can go shopping.
Yeah.
It's the same problems for everybody. And it should be the same help. Obviously, equitable help rather than equal help. But it should be, that's what it should be. We all understand everything about what everybody else is going through. So the whole big thing should be for van life is everybody just make sure that everybody is okay.
Yeah, for me, van life personifies the community.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether you've got a motorhome like ours or, an old van that sort of used to be a builder's van you got for 400 quid and you've built it out and you live in it. Or you go away for the weekend or whatever. I don't really see a difference. I just see people that enjoy going out in their van to enjoy the outdoors, stuff like this really. But I believe that other people see it quite differently, to the point of if you've got a house, it's not real van life. If you don't struggle for money, it's not real van life. If you go travelling all the time, so you can just about stretch your budget to go and travel, that's not real van life. And I think that's where we get a bit of aggro from people, don't we?
Yeah.
Because we use the term, we have been using the term van life quite a lot. Not the same recently, because we've kind of backed off from it, because it does genuinely seem to be that people are getting agitated about us using the term van life. And then there's other people talking about that we're not real van life. And we're just trying to get to the bottom of what is real van life. Is there a difference? Is it like, having a 2-bedroom bungalow or a penthouse flat or a 4-bedroom detached house? Are you still living life, house life, whatever? Does it make a difference? Does it make a difference what you do in van life?
And it does seem that if you don't struggle, it seems that it's not real van life. Everybody has their own struggles. Some are placed for the world to see on social media and YouTube, and some aren't. We know people who who look to be having the best time ever whenever we see their videos or social media, but it's not the same in the background. It's not the same in real life. Is that any less real than life? I don't know.
And that's part of this conversation as well, is that we bring you warts and all. So for example, this video is going to be out Monday. The next video after that you're going to see is us putting up with almost 2 weeks of absolutely biblical torrential rain almost every day through the night, not getting any sleep, struggling to get places. Is that enough drama? Is that enough real? Or is it because we still had power, the heating still worked, the fridge was all right and we could cook? Is that not real either? Because I guess this is the bit of a weirdness I don't get. It shouldn't matter whether you've got, you know, a £100,000 motorhome and it breaks down in Spain and you have to come back, or whether you've got a self-built camper van and that's the only thing you've got in your life, like us. This is it. We haven't got any extra money. We haven't got another house either rented or waiting for us. We've not even got families' driveways we can stay on or anything like that. It's this and nothing. But if it breaks down and it needs fixing, then the solution is the same as everyone else, which is you need to find somewhere to stay, you need to get it fixed, and then you need to get yourself back on the road again.
Yeah.
I don't see that changes.
It shouldn't change either. It should. I mean, that is everybody's worst nightmare. Whether, like you say, whether you're just out on a holiday or whether it's your everyday life anyway. If it breaks down, then you've still got the same problems right there and then. And yeah, I do get it. You know, when we were holidaying, well, we still had the house. If we had any problems with the van, there's always that little thing in the back of your mind that's like, well, I feel a little bit better about that because we've still got the house to go back to.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop it being any less real in the moment. At that point, when you're broken down at the side of the road, you've still got all of that logistical nightmare to deal with. You've still got to figure out where you're going to stay and how you're going to do it and how you're going to get somebody out to you. And in foreign countries, you've got the language barriers and everything. That is all the same. Just because you've got something else back doesn't make that any better, doesn't make it feel any different at the time.
And I think that the biggest part about all of that is well, for me, it's the word van life, like I say, personifies the community. I think all that just revolves around the fact that everybody is in the same boat, and it shouldn't be this separation because, well, we all need the same things. So whether you're staying on £100 a night campsite or whether you're staying on a mound of rubble on a lake that probably used to be about 20 foot higher than us.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference. You still need to make sure that when you set up that you've got all those things. You've got, you know, the heating if it's cold, you've got water, you can cook something, it's going to be safe. And that is all about stuff that we try and help with. Like we put the what 3 word locations on and we talk about where we can get water. We built the whole map location on our website for outside laundry, LPG, anything we can, we help out. So to then be faced with this weird thing of, well, not weird, but this odd question of people saying, well, you're not real van life, it seems, I don't know, slightly unfair.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's like you were on Facebook the other day, weren't you?
I don't know why I do it to myself, because I didn't do Facebook for like 8 years, and then I found some groups that were really good, and a lot of them have a very similar name. And somebody was stuck. It was their first time out in a motorhome and they thought it would be so much easier to find water than it actually is. And he was just saying, how? He'd gone to a garage forecourt and found that the water there had screen wash in it already, so he couldn't use that, and that's the only thing he could think of. So, like you do, and like many others had done on that same thread, you post where we've gotten water from before or where we know that other people have got water from before and it's not been a problem. You know, 99% of the time you go and you ask, barely anybody says no to you getting water. Apparently they do.
They're on Facebook, don't they?
On this Facebook group. Cemeteries are a big no-no, and I know this is a tough thing for people to say. There is a tap in almost every cemetery. People don't use water from cemetery if they've got another choice. If you can go anywhere else and get it, then you do. It just seems a bit weird to me for that. But at some point, everyone's paid council tax.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's paid something towards that. You know, even if you go to the shop in that town, you're putting money in that community.
But moreover, my point was that these people that are having a go at you about suggesting that on Facebook is, to me, surely the best thing for that person to do is not question why the person's taking water and how disgusted or upset they are with that, but ask them what sort of person is desperate enough to go to somewhere like that to take water, and therefore what else might they meet. If you can just turn a tap on in your house and get water, and therefore somebody fetching and carrying water from a tap in a cemetery upsets you because it's so different, then ask yourself, what else might that person need? So if you see someone collecting water, maybe they do need heating. Maybe they just, want to know where's the local place that you might know that they could park up or something to get out of the way.
And the thing that got me most about that was that, I mean, this might be outing my name's all over the Facebook thing anyway, but this person was saying that if they were at the cemetery to see their family member, they would find it distracting to see somebody getting water when they were there to pay their quiet respects. And my reply to that was, if I was stood next to somebody waiting to use a tap because they were having to fill up their water containers for the van, I'd talk to them because they are people. I would not stand there in silent disgust,
tutting
and being disapproving. If anything, I would give them permission to use it. If it was my mum's cemetery, where my mum is, there's water taps all over the place in there, and I would be quite happy for anybody to be using that. Water is life at the end of the day. I don't know, and the group that it was in kind of gave you the impression that that person also has the means to, have 4 wheels and a house on the back at some point, motorhome, camper van conversion, whatever it may be. So why turn on your own kind? Why not be happy for them to get water where water is available? In Turkey, water is everywhere. We were worried about it, weren't we?
Yep. And it's not just around us now because we're on a lake.
Yeah, apart from the potable water is everywhere. We were in the tiniest little villages up the top of a mountain, and then it's like in Spain where you just see this lovely mosaic. It looks a bit like a headstone, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With a tap on the front of it, and most of them have got the screw fittings already for hose pipes and things.
Yep.
And they are just there, and people will quite happily allow you to use the water. They chat to you while you get in the water. It's amazing. It's like, this is here and water is for everybody.
Yeah, it's not an extra fee. But I think the point of all this that I'm getting a bit, I wouldn't say agitated, but it is something that's troubling me, is why, if we all enjoy the same thing, why is it that there are so many people intent on creating divisions in there? I mean, I could understand it if you, like you say, the people in that group, they would have been recommended to join that group, and an admin might have added them to that group because they've got a motorhome. So I understand if you've got a motorhome or a camper van or whatever, you're aware of all those things already. But people that are not aware of all these things, I know personally from family members, they look at us as like sort of third-rate citizens. Essentially, we're homeless, and they've said this to us. They've said, well, you're nothing more than homeless, are you? And then this is the weird thing, is some people's attitude is the fact that, if you travel full-time, if you dwell in a vehicle, that you're homeless, because a home must be bricks and mortar, which is obviously all kind of discussions about that one. But my point being, why do people have to be so divisive when you haven't got that outsider look? You are the person that knows you've got to collect water from somewhere, that you've got to find your own power somewhere, and you've got to empty your own toilet. Why would you create divisions within the community that is all about, from our point of view anyway, helping each other? That's why we make these videos. Every element of a video we make, whether it's a vlog driving up a mountain or anything like that, every element of a video has some way, shape or form of something that we encounter, and we try and help everyone by showing how we got over it. Even if it's just a point of finding an epic parking spot, how we got there, how we found it, and here's the parking spot.
I mean, even down to little things of you turning around and saying, like, what blinking tyre pressures that you, if you've never had to drive on roads like that, and all of a sudden you do, and someone turning around and saying something about lowering your tyre pressures and it helping a little bit.
Yeah.
It's eye-opening. It's like, oh my God, that has made the ride so much better and the journey so much nicer.
And more grip, so
And-
they don't slip.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's just somebody might have never thought about that before because it's not anything that's ever entered the mind. I don't know why people are getting so cagey. I know the whole Big C thing is
Rona, yeah.
is causing people to be divisive in one way or the other, and it is not good. It is not good at all. I just think that people should be able to do if they're not harming anyone else,
Yes.
you should do what they like. And if you can help someone, or even just be understanding, you don't even have to offer any help. You just have to not be.
Judgmental.
I nearly swore big style then. Not be a insert swear word that I can't say on YouTube here.
What does it start with and end with?
A T.
Oh, right.
And I never say that word.
Wow, that's special, that one.
I never say that word. That's the worst word ever. But I think that's the one thing in life.
Yes.
You just literally have to go through not being one of those. Just don't do it. You know, if someone is talking to you, just listen. You don't have to be bending over and going out of your way for anything. Sometimes you just need to not make a problem if there's not one there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what we're trying to say here is that what we really liked when we joined the full-time van life, and it doesn't make any difference whether you choose full-time, part-time, real van life, holiday van life, travel van life, whatever. But when we joined the community that involved the word van life, everyone helped everybody, and there wasn't really any divisions anywhere, although there were the people out there that possibly said now and again, oh, you know, when you go full-time then you'll see things differently. Kind of do, but kind of don't at the same time. I still have the mindset where anybody that lives in a van from time to time needs help, and we'll help whenever we can. And we just want to pass on that message to everybody else that fundamentally it's not the easiest way to live, and therefore if you do see someone struggling and you can help them, then don't judge them, help them. Even though it might make you feel uncomfortable to go and talk to them. Recently someone made a comment on my video on my other channel, Gadget John, and they said I tried to come up and talk to you, but I found you very unapproachable, or that you had attitude or something like that. And I apologised to them. I said, well, the unfortunate thing about that is, yes, I put myself there, we put ourselves there. We didn't envisage there'd be that many people, but irregardless of the amount of people there, I am socially awkward. Was that a fair thing to say?
I would say that is definitely a thing, yeah.
And a lot of people who live in vans that I've spoken to are the same sort of thing. But
a bit introverted,
Yeah.
not too big on crowds,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, yeah.
so even amongst our friends, like South Central, we might be in a group of 20 people, and there might be 5 or 6 people put around me that I know well. I will still struggle now and again to break a conversation with them, start a conversation with them. So I apologise to this person in the comments that I'm sorry if I made him feel uncomfortable, but it's just that I feel uncomfortable around people. My point of this is, if you're like me and you feel uncomfortable, if you see someone struggling, please go and talk to them. I mean, we've done it in various locations we've been at. Even I've done it on my own without Mandy being there. If you see someone that's in need of help, then you just go and talk to them, listen, and you'll soon find out if they need anything. It's simple as. Don't walk up and judge them, or don't sit there and stare at them and judge them, because you don't know what it is they need.
I mean, some of the stuff has been quite simple as well, hasn't it? We've been at a park up, and somebody has come along and said, I've lost all the water, can you help out? And we've literally given half of our water, because we know we can, we'll drive out and go and get some. We've got a good idea of where it is.
We'll go to a cemetery and fill
Shut up, you. Or somebody's come up and said, I've not got a tin opener, or my tin opener's broken, or I forgot to bring my dog food, or many tiny little things that would make a big difference. We've had to go elsewhere and get flour and things, and people, 99% of the time I have found everybody is willing to help for those little bits, and I think we've been really lucky. But I just think that the judgment needs to stop.
Yeah.
The being overly judgmental about whether, what on earth, they've got this big motorhome, what on earth do they struggle for? They can go to the shops and get some flour.
Yeah, or I bet when they sold their house that they've got thousands in the bank, they can do whatever they want. Well, first of all, it's untrue, but second thing, why think that way?
Yeah.
Why is
What
that your
difference does it
first
make?
thought? Yeah.
No, I
So-
don't care whether people have got a house, people do it part-time, people just holiday in motorhomes,
Yeah.
people have a motorhome or a panel van. Our friend set goes from people who have fallen to pieces van builds up to big expensive motorhomes.
Yeah.
And I love them all the same.
Yeah, you've seen the people that we've been, so, you know, without naming names, but like you say, from the people that a family living in a motorhome that cost them 400 quid, all the way up to, well, I'll use an example, another family that go on holiday and go out in a motorhome that it was 100,000. But the beauty about it all is that it's still a camper van motorhome. They still like to go out. They've got that shared interest.
Yeah, and you still stand and talk to them both. And if you needed anything, either family would give you the shirt off the back.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about.
So, I am sorry if this video has appeared to be slightly melancholy.
Whingy. It's whingy.
Where we're going with this is, if at all possible, that we can use this channel, our channel, and you guys to somewhat, how could you say it?
Show people that this doesn't have to be
Yeah.
this way.
To give an alternative view on what it is to be part of van life, and if at all possible to reset people's judgmental side maybe. So the first thing they do is to listen and understand people rather than making judgments about them.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah, because that is the biggest first step, because that opens up lines of communication and
Yeah.
opens up people's minds just to see a little bit. And you never know. You know, we found it's far more fun that way.
Oh yeah.
It is far more fun that way, and it is far.
I mean, like I said, I've been sat here in a chair feeling immensely uncomfortable having conversations with people that I would never normally talk to, and it's not because of them or what they're saying, it's because it's just uncomfortable for me to strike up conversation with them. But then I've got the memories of the conversation, of everything they told me, of knowing about them and what they need, and if I could help them, how I could help them, or if they could help me, how have they helped me. And I think that's the best thing of life, really, isn't it?
And at the end of the day, you enjoyed yourself. It felt like a feat.
Yeah.
It felt like you had put yourself out there a bit and we'd gotten through it. And even though a lot of the time you were squirming on the inside,
Yeah.
that you actually managed to do it. And we met some amazing people.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're both the same. It took us 2 weeks to get over Stratford Show because it was just,
Yeah.
it was full on for us, especially after lockdowns and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like it was mental in comparison. But I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we did it because we had a brilliant time. But at the end of every day, it was like, I need to just go in and decompress for an hour. I can't talk to anybody and do anything.
But
But it's just something
Still
to think
did it.
of that that's what a lot of people are like.
yeah, we still did it. We still listened to as many people and talked to as many people as we could. So I'd just like to reiterate, if at all possible you felt that we were unapproachable or I was unapproachable, then I would like to apologise for that. Just saying.
I don't think you need to apologise, babe. It was nothing done on
No, but
purpose.
if I've made somebody feel uncomfortable,
Oh yeah, you don't like the idea of that,
no.
do you? So
So there we go.
no. Yeah.
Right then. So now that we've said that, and it's been something we've been thinking about for a while, of how exactly do we say it and at which point is best to say it. And I think it's one of them things in life, you just got to say it, and there's no perfect timing for it.
No. But to summarise, van life
Yes.
is not what you do, it's who you do it with.
Yes.
It's the community, it's the people. It
Yep.
doesn't matter who they are and what they've got or what they haven't got. You know, what did they say? If you've got more than you need, build a bigger table, not a taller fence.
Yes. I love that one.
Yep.
I absolutely love that one.
And that's exactly as it should be. And
Yeah.
I think that for the majority of it, apart from the odd person who does like to tell us we're doing it wrong, and also having spoken to lots of other people on YouTube, they tell everybody they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So if everyone's doing it wrong, there's obviously no right way of doing it. So that's where I stand on that one. Everybody just should be that.
It's a lifestyle that revolves around vehicles that started life as a van or a truck, and that's it. Whatever you do and how you do it, as long as you don't upset anybody else, that should be it, really.
Yep.
And if you can enjoy it with other people, fan-bloody-tastic.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We done them?
We are, because it's freezing cold. There's snow. I can see snow.
There is snow up on the hills up there, yeah.
It's freezing. Have I got blue lips?
No?
No.
No, they're still pink.
No. Okay.
Cool.
I'm freezing.
Right then. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
We shall see you soon.
See you soon.
And make sure you get lost.
Only a little bit, though.
Yeah. If you don't know the reference to that, you'll find out in next week's video. But yeah, go get lost somewhere. Explore yourself.
Yeah. Get lost.
Yeah. See
You
you
can
later.
get lost. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.